Hey, what's up guys, we are back and I'm here to give my Bahrain Grand Prix race review and observations. So let's start off with the finishing order of the Grand Prix, starting off with Logan Sargent in P20 and Bottas in P19, Gasly in P18, Ocon in P17, Hulkenberg in P16, Albon in P15, Tsunoda in P14, Ricciardo in P13, Magnussen in P12, Zhou in P11, Stroll in P10, Alonso in P9, Piastri in P8, Hamilton in P7, Norris in P6, Russell in P5, Leclerc in P4, Sainz in P3, Perez in P2, and Max continues his tradition of winning. And now with that being said, let's head on to my race observations. Mercedes engine overheating. Mercedes seems to have a hard time keeping their engine temperature low, and it didn't stop with the works team as even the customer team was suffering with the same issue, with Albon suffering from the engine heating issue when he was trailing closer to the car ahead. With Bahrain comparatively having colder temperatures to the Grand Prix that we're heading to next, which is Jeddah, I don't know how the Mercedes powered teams are gonna perform. Ferrari's better race pace. Ferrari though are still a step behind Red Bull in terms of race pace, and Charles's issue with the brakes kind of tainted the progress that the team has made with the new car's race pace. It's definitely better, and Carlos said after the race that the new car actually performs much better with a hard compound, which means on longer stints Ferrari could actually stay closer to the Red Bulls. With Ferrari bringing in the right upgrades, they could really challenge Red Bull at the second half of the season for race wins. So let's not give up on the season already. Mercedes trailing close behind. Mercedes seems to have better pace under one lap this season, which has never been their strongest suit, at least in this ground effects era. They usually have a better race car, but in contrast with the W15, it seemed like Mercedes might have to put some effort into finding the race pace from the W15, as their pace in the Bahrain Grand Prix was good enough to just put them P3 in the Constructors' Championship. But one good sign is that both the drivers were more confident with pushing the car and engaging in battles, which means that the drivers are confident to push the car. McLaren and Aston Martin need major improvement under race trim. McLaren had one of their better starts to a Formula 1 season in recent years. Though finishing outside the top 5 was not what the team had predicted heading into the Bahrain Grand Prix, it's still one of the better starts that the team has had in the recent years. It's still better place to start working to move towards the front. As a team that finished outside the points last year in this Grand Prix, that managed to recover to score more points than Red Bull at the second half of 2023, I think McLaren still can improve. Though replicating that kind of an improvement is a bit of a far-fetch, I think improvements can be made, and Jeddah as a high-speed track, I feel like it would suit the McLaren, so I expect McLaren to be fighting for podium positions at the next Grand Prix. In contrast, Aston Martin seemed to have extracted everything out of their car at quali yesterday, and the race pace of the car today was rather underwhelming to say the least. But it was still good enough for the team to finish in the points with both the cars, which is a good sign. So it's not that bad for Aston Martin yet, but it's important for them to bring in the right upgrade soon so that they don't stay as the 5th fastest team this season. And kudos to Stroll, who managed to recover up to P10 at the end of the race after getting dropped last after the turn 1 incident. Haas proves that the car has potential to score points. Haas, as I expected, had a brilliant outing at Bahrain, probably one of their best season openers since 2022. Their car seems consistent with its race pace, which is encouraging, and the car was competitive. The tyre degradation was not an issue anymore, thank God for that, so that Kevin Magnussen managed to finish P12 in the race, and Hulkenberg might have missed the opportunity to score points for the team after the lap 1 incident with Stroll, which dropped him at the back of the pack. Williams have improved. Yes, they have improved, but they still lag behind with some of the issues that they were facing with the steering wheel and engine. Albon showcased a solid pace for the team, and Logan was having a great race himself, trailing right behind his teammate in P13 before facing an issue with the steering wheel, which caused for him to pit to change for a new steering wheel. By then, his race was ruined, and I'm frustrated for him. Williams has definitely improved over last year. Though the result may not speak the same story, I think this car definitely has more potential to score points than last year's. Though the team still needs to iron out some of the issues, I feel like 2024 will be another stepping stone for Williams on their road to glory. Zhou did a brilliant race. Yes, Zhou had a brilliant race today to finish P11, showing that the upgrades brought to the Sauber has improved the race pace of the car. Though the team had to work hard to improve its overall quali pace, it's encouraging to witness that the Sauber has a strong race car. Red Bull seems to carry forward their momentum from last year. The Red Bull car is still not the best under quali trim, just like last year's, but it certainly is under race trim. The fact that they proved it yet again by scoring a 1-2 finish at the season opener says it all. Max Max still seems to be more suited with the car than Checo. The pace difference is quite significant and I hope Checo does something to bring it down and not let it extend any further. RB with their weird strategical calls. The driver swap that they did, I feel like they should have done it a lot sooner to give Ricciardo an actual chance of fighting with Magnussen with fresher tires. And once Ricciardo failed to make the move, I feel like the team should have stepped in to swap the drivers back around to let Yuki finish ahead of Ricciardo. Or I feel like Ricciardo should have done it himself. I think it's just basic etiquette. You may say that it's for a position that carries no point, so why does it matter? But what we need to keep in mind is that they both are fighting for that Red Bull seat and it's between teammates. The last person that you really want to lose to is your own teammate. So yeah. But I will say that Yuki's way of displaying his frustration was too petty. On the cooldown lap, whatever he did was just distasteful. There are definitely better ways to express your frustration, and this is not the ideal way of going about it. Didn't I say that he needs to have a control over his hot-headed behavior to have better chances of finding a better seat for next season? Yeah, actions like this is just gonna bring down your reputation around the paddock. So yes guys, these are my Bahrain Grand Prix race review and observations of the Grand Prix, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and let me know down in the comment section on what you thought of the Grand Prix. I thought the Grand Prix was, it was decent, nothing more. I genuinely expected for the racing to be closer, but it really was not. It was, but at the same time it wasn't. So it's kind of hard to explain. But yeah, I hope Jeddah brings a bit of a closer racing, as McLaren would be right up there for podium positions, as they are one of the teams that actually had a car that was really good on high-speed corners. So I expect McLaren to be right up there with Ferrari and Red Bull. With that being said, if you haven't subscribed to the Rain Master channel already, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also hit that bell icon while you're at it so you get notified whenever I upload a brand new video. And until next time, it's me Vinesh from Rain Master and I'm out. Love you guys, stay safe, peace.